Hello, welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be testing the RX 9070 XT PowerColor HellHound edition of the card. Also going to be testing the RX 9060 XT 16GB model HellHound edition of the card as well. And we're also going to be testing the RX 9070 Sapphire Pulse model of the card. I am going to be using the 9000X 3D, and I'm also going to be using 32GB of DDR5. And there's going to be a 1440p test. I have already done a 4K test, guys, so go and check that video out. And also let me know your thoughts in the comments below what you guys think about these GPUs. If you like these type of videos, of course, drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment, guys. It really helps the channel out. And let's get into the video, boys. Alright guys, so we're getting on with our first benchmark. So we got The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. We're at 1440p, very high, FSR quality. We are using FSR4. And we're seeing that the 9070 and the 9070 XT are really close together. Like in 1440p, we're seeing like maybe 10 FPS difference, maybe 20. It does really depend where you look in the game. Of course, the power draw is around 100 watts difference. We're not really seeing, that much need for a 9070 XT in 1440p. Like in 4K that we did the other day, I think it was 4K, you really need that extra performance. Literally in 1440p, you're not going to really notice getting like 10 FPS or 20 FPS more when you're already hitting over 100, 120 FPS. Even the 9060 XT is getting like 80 FPS. It has dropped down to like 60, 65, but even that is really playable. You can always, lower the settings, put it on balance. You can do so much more to get even more than 60 FPS with the 9060 XT. So I think it's looking really well here. All these cards are doing a fantastic job, really playable FPS. I don't know why I forgot to put the 1% lows on the 9070 XT. Literally completely forgot because I was doing so many tests that day. I must have just forgot to press the button, but right guys, so we have FORZA Ryzen 5 running at 1440p, extreme settings, literally max settings with TAA. We're seeing that all the cards here are literally well over 100 FPS. The 1% lows are a bit bad. You have to keep that in mind that all these cards are going to be, having these lags. So far, it seems to be fine for the other cards except from the 9060 XT. But they all will be, having a bit of a lag once in a while. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's not just the 9060 XT that's having, the 1% lows going all the way down. Yeah, all of them are really having really good FPS, literally over 100 FPS, really playable, looking fantastic as well. I have to say, like TAA on this game looks really nice. I'm just really happy with the performance of all these cards. Yeah, again, the 9070 and the 9070 XT don't really have that big of a difference. I mean, there is 20 FPS, but like I said before, it's not really a big difference if you're already getting 120 FPS. You're not going to really notice that. And I think you are going to notice that, power draw. But you can obviously undervolt the 9070 XT and pull, 220 watts as well and have very similar FPS. Right guys, next up we have God of War RAGNAROK running at 1440p, ultra settings, FSR quality. We are using FSR4 and we're seeing that the 9070 XT is literally about to be hitting 200 FPS. So it's insane to see 200 FPS in the title like this. This game looks absolutely stunning, guys. I have to say, like, it's just insane. Honestly, it really is. The 9070 is not far behind, hitting 170 FPS, and the 9060 XT is hitting around 100, 120 FPS, which is fantastic as well. All cards are doing a really good job. The 1% lows look great as well. It's just a really well optimized title, guys. I do recommend you guys picking this up. Like I say in every single video, this game is just amazing, really well optimized. If you have a card that has like 16GB of VRAM, 12GB of VRAM, you're going to be absolutely fine. Put in like ultra settings, you're going to love this game, honestly, guys. I'm telling you now. Alright guys, so we're in CYBERPUNK 2077 running at 1440p, ultra settings, FSR quality. We are using FSR3 and we're seeing not big of a difference at all between the 9070 and the 9070 XT. We're literally CPU limited in this title with these settings. So yeah, the CPU's barely handling it. 70% usage on the CPU. I do recommend a really strong CPU if you guys are, planning to play with 1440p, at least a 1700X 3D or 1900X 3D, because 1440p is just really demanding. You need, a really strong CPU. If you're playing in 4K, you're gonna get away with a lot of CPUs, that are not like the highest end. In 1440p, you really do need a strong CPU because even the 1900X 3D is getting, CPU limited. It does also depend on the area because now we're getting like 98, 99% usage on the GPU. So, we're finally GPU bound, but there are scenarios in this game, as you guys saw before, that, we're getting like 70% usage on the CPU. So it's really high usage. Right guys, so we have The Last of Us Part 1, 1440p, ultra sound, FSR quality. We are using FSR4. We're seeing that all the cards are doing a fantastic job, especially the 9070 and the 9070 XT, well over 100 FPS. The 9060 XT is doing a fantastic job as well. It's literally hitting 80 FPS. I still remember when I played this game with my 3070 and I was barely running the game. I kept crashing, I kept having issues. I mean, this game did only come out then, but you know, it was really hard to run with that 8 gigabytes, and you know, we can see in this scenario the 9060 XT with the 16 gigabytes is doing absolutely amazing. And I didn't actually replay this game with my 5090 and I was absolutely having a blast. You know, finished this game in like a week. I was playing so much to finish it, but I was really enjoying myself. And you can see, like, you don't even need the 5090. You can literally enjoy yourself, you know, in 43p with the 9070 and the 9070 XT. All these cards literally, like, are just doing a really good job. The 1% lows are looking very good as well. Like, we're not seeing any issues whatsoever. Right guys, so we have Horizon Forbidden West, well, that 4040p, very high settings, FSR quality, and we do have FSR4 enabled. We're seeing the 20 FPS difference between the 9070 and the 9070 XT. Again, that's not a really big difference, especially when you are getting like over 120 FPS. The 9060 XT is doing a great job as well. It's getting like around 70 to 80 FPS. 1% lows are not looking amazing on the 9070 to 9070 XT because they are getting like 130, 150 FPS. So it's dropping all the way down to 80s to 90s. So the FPS is not looking that good on the 1% lows. The 9060 XT is doing a really good job because it's getting like 90 FPS and the drops are not that major. So you're dropping like 20 FPS, which is not a big difference. So you should be absolutely fine with that card. But with these two cards, it seems to be a bit weird because the drops are really, really big. So you might feel drops. I'm not really sure if it's just the area because like I don't really test this game that often. So I don't really know if it's just the area that's having these issues. It could just be the area, guys. I'm not really 100% sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below. I would like to hear what you guys think about this. Right guys, so we have the beautiful Red Dead Redemption 2 running at 1440p, ultra sounds, FSR quality. We are using FSR2. We're seeing that the 9060 XT is struggling a little bit. It is getting 70 FPS. And I have to say straight away as well, guys, the 1% lows are looking so bad on all these cards just because like I am using DirectX 12 and I'm not using the Vulkan. So I saw on one of my videos on Red Dead Redemption 2, I can't remember what video it was, but some guy told me to use, you know, DirectX 12. Why am I using Vulkan? I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. And I gave it a go, and this is the second video that we're seeing stuttering. In 4K we saw stuttering, in 1440p we're seeing stuttering, so I'm just going to stick to Vulkan for the future videos. So I'm not going to be testing DirectX 12 anymore because it just keeps stuttering. Even before I was recording this voiceover, I tried my 5090 on this game with the same settings with DirectX 12 and it was doing the same thing. So it just doesn't matter what card you have, it's just going to keep stuttering. So don't look at them 1% lows too much, guys. Just use Vulkan and don't bother with DirectX 12. But other than that though, all cards are doing very fantastic job, especially the 9070, the 9070 XT, well over 100 FPS, and the 9060 XT is, you know, doing a fantastic job as well. It is over 60 FPS, so it's still really good. Alright guys, so we have Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, and that 4040p, epic settings, FSR quality. We are using FSR4, and we'll see that all the cards are struggling a little bit. I mean, they are over 60 FPS. The 9070 and the 9070 XT are around, you know, 90 FPS, 80 FPS, but the 9060 XT is barely hitting 60 FPS. The 1% lows are bad on all the cards, but it is a real Age of 5 game. This game is just going to keep stuttering, guys. You have to keep that in mind. It is the Unreal Engine 5 magic at the end of the day. Like I said in my previous video, it's just going to be a nightmare, sadly. Other than that though, you know, all cards are running it fairly decently. You know, you can always use frame generation, get the extra frames in. What I like about this game though, it doesn't use that much VRAM in 4K and 4040p. Like we're literally using not even 9 gigabytes of VRAM, so you know, it's doing a fantastic job there at least. But you know, the stuttering is a bit of a nightmare, sadly. Right guys, so we have Spider-Man 2 running at 4040p, ultra sounds, FSR quality. We are using FSR4, and we're seeing like all of these cards are doing a really good job, like 130 FPS on the 9070, on the 9070 XT, 140, 150 FPS, And even the 9060 XT is doing really well here, 90 FPS. So all these cards are doing a fantastic job. Here though, we're not seeing any stuttering so far, but I think if you start flying about, you are going to get a lot of stuttering, I think. So I do recommend frame generation in this game. Even on my 5090, guys, I did use frame generation because it just helps to smooth out this game a little bit more and make it less stuttery. Other than that though, I think all these cards are doing a really good job. It is 1440p. I do expect it, and especially in a game like this, I do expect, you know, this type of FPS from these cards. So alright guys, and lastly we have Silent Hill 2 running at 1440p with the high preset. We are using FSR 3.1. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you can enable FSR 4, because for some reason it didn't let me. I thought this game does support FSR 4, but I guess it doesn't. So let me know in the comments below if it does. But yeah, we're seeing like the 9060 XT is struggling a little bit in this title. It literally is hitting like around 60-70 FPS. The 1% low seem to be really good on these cards in this title so far, but it is the start of the game, so I'm not sure if later down the line if it is going to be stuttering, because it is UE5 at the end of the day, so it probably will start stuttering. But I have played this game a really long time ago. I think it's been like 9 months, and I did play my 4090 back then, so I'm not sure if I was getting any stuttering. I think I did, but it was, you know, so long ago. I think they might have fixed a little bit of stuff here. Yeah, I'm not 100% on that, but I think all the cards are doing a pretty decent job. You know, the 9060 XT is just struggling quite a bit, but if you lower the settings a bit more, maybe go to FSR balance, you're going to get way more FPS and going to be way better. And I think you should probably do that because there's a lot of shooting in this game, so probably would be a good idea to get more FPS. Right guys, so we're at the end of the video now, and I think the 9070 is a really good choice for 1440p. As we saw in the other video, the 9070 and the 9070 XT don't really have that big of a difference, but if you're playing in 4K, you do want to get the most FPS you can. It is really demanding, so you know, you're trying to squeeze out every bit of performance. But in 1440p, you know, where we're getting consistently like 120 FPS, you don't really need that 9070 XT because you're not going to really feel that 20-25 FPS more that we were getting. So I think it's pretty interesting to see, you know, the results in 1440p. It's still nice to, you know, get the 9070 XT, kind of undervolt it, you know, use 220 watts and, you know, still get very similar performance we were getting in start. Still a choice here, but if you do want to save and play in 1440p, I think it's quite a smart idea to save. Then again, you know, if you do spend more now, you do save later because then you'd have to upgrade the GPU as fast. So yeah, it does depend, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do check out the 4K video, guys, and please drop a like, comment, subscribe, guys, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.